Jock, real quick comment. You know, you were there with Jerry and myself and Dick when McCavish came over. Just for the crowd, real quick reminisce on that time when we switched over.
It was great, Randy. Just it goes back to what the guys and Mikey keep cutting down the old boards because they were too wide, and it just kind of progressed. And with Dick's technical know-how and the enthusiasm of a bunch of us youngsters, things just took off.
All right, anybody out there got a question for either Dick or Jock? Somebody, go ahead. What's that again?
What kind of language? F word going everywhere?
You know, there was a bit of swearing in the movie, but, being here with Jock reminds me, Duke Hanamoko was in the movie. When I was shaping for the Duke Hanamoko surf team, after Jock won the Duke meet in '67 on a smaller gun, the Duke came into my shaping room and he said, "Dick, I picked up Jock's board. I was very proud because it had a Duke Hanamoko label and he won the contest." He was relating. He said the pin was smaller, the board was smaller and lighter than any board on the beach, that it was really, really something. And he said, "You have great powers, my son. Don't abuse your powers." I've tried to live by that.
Foam versus epoxy.
Epoxy is very, very strong. However, the foam boards flex, and when you're going around a corner, something that flexes and goes around the corner, it does ride the wave better.
Is Reno still relevant?
Reno is very relevant. He's shaping boards in California. He's in most of the time down in Baja, Mexico.
What about Reno?
I'm not sure about Reno.
Is board still surfing sunset?
Yeah, no, as Dick said, he was talking about Reno Avalero, and I think the question was about George Greeno. George Greeno is still extremely relevant. He goes back and forth between Australia and Santa Barbara. He has actually designed a boat that you can completely roll the boat over in the surf and it will still ride itself. So George Greeno, in my opinion, was the guy who brought the fin that modified the short boards and gave the Australians the way to move on. And from there, when it came to Hawaii, you can see where Dick took over and took their concepts, took the short board to the new levels, and the whole concept of the movie going vertical is where we're at today. Anybody else? Up the back there?
For Brewer, what's your most favorite wave ever?
This is
Favorite
for
spot for Brewer.
Honolulu Bay. The reason we went there is it's a very beautiful wave. It's very perfect. It is probably one of the best waves in the world, but it's a place where we went to find a smaller wave than Sunset and a smoother board to develop the modern board on.
Yeah, Honolulu Bay has got to be a great wave, but Honolulu Bay on Kauai is a longer wave, and there's not as many rocks as close, and there's a lot of great waves all around the world, but Honolulu and Honolulu are really good.
the other one out the back there, go ahead.
Is this the first time you guys have seen this film?
For Jock and myself it is. Actually, Dick was at the premiere in Australia, and also last week they had the premiere at the Anaheim Film Festival in California. So first time I've seen the film, first time Jock's seen the film, so it was kind of fun.
I have a question. Since we're talking about high tech, I noticed Hub Cider soon coming out with a high tech short film.
Kelly's working with the guys at Channel Islands trying to develop really, really short boards. The idea being going even another step further. It's interesting, the shots of Kelly there. We did that interview with him actually the winter before last now. And he was trying to figure out ways to get smaller, and technology using new approaches to techniques is what he's going to be applying. So you'll see that pretty soon coming out. Anybody else? Okay, go ahead.
Who invented the thruster?
The thruster, actually Dick designed some 3-fin boards back in the early 70s that had little small side trailing fins on them. But Simon Anderson of Australia is credited with the thruster. In 1981, he won the Bells Beach contest in Australia riding a 3-fin board. And then he came here to Hawaii and won the Pipeline Masters riding that same board. And that really solidified the whole shift from single fins and twin fins. And the whole reason he rode and developed the thruster was to be able to beat Mark Richards, who at the time was a 4-time world champion. He was riding twin fins. Anybody else?
Question for Mr. Brewer. Between Reno and Jerry, which one of the two riders wanted you to cut the most length off their board?
McTavish he's always said you should cut a few feet off your board over there right from the beginning.
Between Reno and
Oh, the two of us had decided to cut it off before Jerry walked in the room.
Yeah, the story there was true. What it was is McCavish had a smaller board. Dick had built a 9.6 for Jerry to ride Honolulu, and that board was shaped. And McCavish convinced Dick, and they came in and together and basically reproduced what we saw in the film, was cutting that off nearly a foot, foot and a half of length. So I think Jerry probably had the first really good short board from Dick, and Reno was riding shorter boards because he was just a lot smaller. That's what it was. And later over here, go ahead.
Was there a surfer in those days comparable to the skills of Kelly Slater?
Yeah, there was, Joey Cabell was pretty far ahead of his time. Dick shaped him some great boards. He was riding some thick rail boards and going faster at Sunset than a lot of people had ever seen before that. So yeah, there were Jimmy Lucas, guys like this. There were people that were back then as good, comparably as Kelly Slater is now.
They needed the equipment. David New Even needed smaller and smaller boards. And finally, when he shaped a twin fin, a 510, a 6-foot and a 6'2" fishes, that's when the twin fin thing really got started.
Yeah, I'd also like to say, probably in my opinion, in 1969, the best surfer in the world and comparable at that time, was Jock Sutherland. He was most epic. Anyway, I'd like to thank all of you for coming tonight. The film festival has another show coming up, so we